Yes.
Okay. Did you apologize for what happened at the first meeting on June 19th?
I did.
When?
The next selectmen meeting.
Did you apologize in the selectmen meeting on June 21st?
No,
Did you have time to do so?
I did,
Or is there a reason you didn't?
because the public wasn't there.
There was no one in the public there?
Well, just you.
Okay. So you were going to wait for a larger audience?
Yes.
Okay. Could you please go to exhibit 25, page 108?
I'm sorry, is it?
Exhibit 25, page 108.
Transact for identification at this point.
Yes, I believe exhibit 25 is just a printout of RSA 41, which is the law, so it's not properly an exhibit.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm not sure that the version that's attached as exhibit 25 doesn't have a header indicating the date it was printed, so I'm just not sure that it's current enough. The court knows the law, and I'm sure that the court will take that accordingly.
Okay, thank you.
Can you please read section 41, colon A?
Every town at the annual meeting shall choose by ballot one selectman to hold office for 3 years. The selectman shall manage the prudential affairs of the town and perform the duties by law prescribed. The majority of the selectmen shall be competent in all quick cases.
So you made an apology on the next meeting. That was, I believe, on July 2nd. That's all right?
I believe so.
Why not move the venue back to where it was? Why not move the venue to the town hall?
Because we need to have a vote at the town meeting.
Did you have a vote to move the meeting to the fire hall?
Yes.
Did? Okay. So on July 2nd, did you take a vote to change the venue?
Did not.
Why not?
We turned the fans off and made sure we spoke clearly.
Okay. So there was no need to change the venue. Is that what you're saying?
I know of.
Okay. Why did the board choose to move the venue later?
The repairs on town hall were done. We could, other than multiple people on the audience asking to.
So you're saying until that point, the town hall was a non-optional venue to hold meetings?
I didn't say non-optional.
Okay. But you didn't choose to move the meeting back to the town hall when it was already clear that construction was done?
Like I said, we need to have a vote at the town meeting, which would have been that next meeting.
Did you take a vote at that meeting?
I don't believe not,
Why not?
because we took steps to ensure people could hear.
Okay. So there was no need to move the meeting?
No.
Okay. any of the decisions on June 18th, did you have any issues making any decisions that day? When taking any other vote?
I don't believe so.
So you were in good state of mind to conduct the duties as a selectman for the town.
I believe so.
Okay. That's all my questions.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Decker.
Morning, Mr. President. What was the weather like in Grafton on June 18th last year?
90 plus degrees
Was that all day long?
all day, yes.
And what time was your select board meeting that day?
6 o'clock,
And was it still hot at that point?
it was,
What was the temperature at that point, if you recall?
I believe it was still around 90 degrees.
Is there air conditioning in the fire department?
No,
So what cooling systems were available in the fire station at that time?
the ceiling fans.
There's some questions about the use of that as a meeting space. Are you aware whether previous select boards have ever held meetings in the fire station?
Yeah,
Can you expand upon that, how frequently meetings, the fire stations have been used for select board meetings in the past?
back in 2013, they were held there, every meeting, 2 times a month.
And is the fire station ever been used for town meeting deliberative sessions?
Yeah, every year.
Every year? So is it fair to say that's a common place for public meetings to be held in the town of Grafton?
Yes,
During that meeting on June 18th, we saw the video clips where Mr. Aguilar stated he was having difficulty hearing. From your observation of the room, was your voice and the voice of the other selectmen audible to other people in attendance?
from where I was sitting, we were audible, and talking where they were sitting.
Were you able to hear clearly the voices of the members of the public that were in attendance when they spoke to you?
I was,
Okay. What was the arrangement of that select board meeting? The select board was seated around a circular table, correct?
yes,
And how far was the audience from the circular table where the select board was seated?
between 5 and 10 feet.
Is that, and so the first row of chairs for public seating was, in your estimation, about 5 feet from the select board's table?
Around there.
Okay. Was Mr. Aguilar sitting in the front row?
I think he was sitting off to the side,
How far off to the side?
in 5, 10 feet.
Okay. Were there additional seats available in the front row closer to the table?
No. That, the front row and rows behind those,
Okay. Were all the seats in the front row filled?
no,
Okay. So could Mr. Aguilar have moved closer to the table?
yes,
Okay. And he moved his camera closer to the table, correct?
Was that when you asked when everyone could hear him?
That was later. I'm referring to when Mr. Abelhab moved the camera next to the table and Mr. Darrow's voice could be overheard on the video recording. He's saying something about the microphone. Do you recall that?
I don't know.
Okay. You testified that the meeting was 90 degrees and there's no air conditioning in the fire station, so the only cooling system available was the fans, correct?
Yes.
And you were reluctant to turn the fans off because that would have made the meeting much more uncomfortable, is that correct?
Yes.
And you testified that after the first two times you heard Mr. Abelhab comment about having a difficulty hearing, you testified that you raised your voice, correct?
I did.
And in fact, at points later in the meeting, for example, at the last clip shown at 52:20, when you were reading the letter from the property tax auctioneer, you raised your voice for that, and that's clearly heard on the video, correct?
Yes.
And referring back to the clip played from minute 39:50, that was the point where Mr. Darrow, out of representative, was the one who said, "Could you hear us?" Do you recall that moment in the video?
Yes.
And why did you understand that Mr. Darrow said that?
To make sure everyone could hear him.
And to whom was he speaking when he asked that?
I speak to the public.
In particular, was there any person in particular, or was it to the public at large?
Strictly to Ms. Leeway Bostic and Maureen O'Reilly.
I'm sorry, say that last second again?
Maureen O'Reilly.
Okay. And where were Ms. Posick and Ms. O'Reilly sitting?
Maureen was sitting in the front row, second seat in. Leeway was sitting in the next row back on the far left.
Okay. And I think we heard in one of the comments was that they could hear Mr. Darrow clearly and they were having a little more difficulty hearing you. Do you recall hearing that in the video?
Yes.
Okay. And was there a comment made about your hand being in front of your mouth?
Yes,
And after that, did you move your hand in an attempt to speak in a louder voice?
it did.
Okay. When was the next select board meeting, other than your non-public meeting on June 21st? When was the next regular public meeting at the fire station?
I believe it was 2 weeks after.
Would it have been July 2nd?
Yes.
Okay. At that July 2nd meeting, did you address the concerns about your speech being audible at the meetings?
I did.
And what did you say at that meeting?
I apologize for saying what I had said. Said we will keep the fans off or at least down very low. We'll speak up and I will keep my hands away from my mouth.
Did the select board take other steps to address Mr. Abelhab's concerns about the audibility of your speech on June 18th? I'll clarify more specifically for you. The select board did vote to move the location of its meetings, correct?
Did the next meeting.
What was that, at the August 8th meeting? Sorry, you had a select board meeting on August 6th, correct?
We had one July 2nd and did I one July, I think it was our second one in July.
The second one in July was back at the town hall.
I believe that's when we voted to go back to the town hall. And August was our first time back to the town hall.
All right, so August 6th was your first time back at the town office. In addition to you offering an apology about the audibility on June 18th, did the select board provide a report or statement about of the meeting where Mr. Darrow reported on what previously occurred at the June 18th meeting, Mr. Darrow's report is reflected in the meeting minutes of that meeting, correct?
Yes.
And the minutes of that meeting have been publicly available since shortly after that meeting.
Yes.
At one point, in your direct examination, you testified that you were agitated on June 18th. Can you explain more about why you felt agitated?
All day I spent my time on a tractor putting 400 bales of hay in 90-degree weather. Came to the meeting to 90-degree weather in a big box. And all our meetings, we hear people saying, we can't hear this, that, trying to interrupt us.
And just for the record, are you a paid employee of the town of Grafton?
Run off a stipend,
Okay. What is the amount of that stipend?
$2,500.
$2,500 annually is the select board stipend,
Yeah, so it's 2,200 after taxes.
$2,200 after taxes. And what is the purpose of that stipend?
To reimburse us for our time.
And in an average year, you've served on the select board now 3 years. In an average year, rough ballpark, how many hours do you spend in your responsibilities as a selectman to the town of Grafton?
It's a full-time job.
It's a
You're
it's
doing it constantly.
So when we say full-time job constantly, how many hours a day?
Objection, I don't know how this relevant to the meeting.
We're still discussing, this is relevant to Mr. Ho's agitation of the state of mind at the June 18th meeting.
You bring into question his conduct during the entire year.
No.
Overruled.
So your stipend of $2,200 after taxes is intended to compensate you for roughly how many hours a year of service to the town? Or if you can't estimate hours a year, hours a day or hours a week?
Daily, it can go from 2 hours to 8 hours, depends on the day and what's going on. If I'm being called, I can go down to the office and do something for a couple hours, another department go deal something.
So, 2 to 8 hours, depending on the day, $2,200 for the year. That's not very much if you were to calculate an hourly rate, is it?
No.
Essentially, you're not being fairly compensated for your time as a select board member.
I went into it not knowing that their pay wasn't high.
You're providing a volunteer service to the town of Grafton, as are the other select board members,
Yes,
correct?
we are one of the lowest paid select boards in the area.
That's right. So after a full day working out in the fields in the hot sun, you came to a select board meeting where it was very warm and you were looking to proceed with that meeting expeditiously, correct?
Was,
Were you agitated in general, or was there an element of your agitation that was directed particularly at Mr. Abba?
just constantly interrupting.
And outside, when you refer to constantly interrupting, are you referring to the June 18th meeting, or are you referring more broadly?
More broadly.
With respect to the June 21st meeting, which Mr. Abba played you a brief clip of, June 21st, do you recall what time of day that was at?
That was first thing in the morning.
Approximately 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Did you have to go to work to your day job after
consider during the meeting, really doesn't speak to the violation.
Thank you.
I'm trying to, as rapidly as I can, lay the background foundation, which would provide the court more context for Mr. O's agitation on, June 18th.
Okay, thank you. Overruled.
On the morning of June 21st, Mr. Abdullah was present in the select board meeting in Ms. Hope's office at the time that you were ready to start the meeting, correct?
Yes.
And so you called the meeting to order, and at that point, Mr. Darrow, Mr. Grimley, yourself, and Ms. Hope were in the room, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Abdullah was there with his video camera, correct?
Yes.
And there was a motion made to, after the public meeting was called into order, there was a motion made to go into non-public session, correct?
Yes.
Okay. At that point, after the motion was made, all three select board members voted as one to go into non-public, correct?
Yes.
At that point, Ms. Hope asked Mr. Abdullah to leave the room, correct?
Yes.
And did he leave the room?
No.
And did he explain why, did he explain at that point why he was not leaving the room?
Because we weren't in 91 non-public yet. We weren't following the rules.
Okay. Did he tell you what rule you weren't following?
No.
Okay. At that point, was he asked to leave again?
Yes.
And when you did not leave, what did you and Ms. Hope do?
We called Mitchell Briggs.
Okay. And approximately how much time elapsed between when Mr. Abdullah refused to leave and when Chief Briggs arrived at the office?
Or 5 minutes.
Would be closer to 10 minutes.
We could have been.
And the clip that Mr. Abdullah played for you, referring back to the June 18th meeting, that occurred in the 10 minutes while you were waiting for Chief Briggs to arrive at the town office. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when Chief Briggs arrived at the town office, did he inquire Mr. Abdullah as to why he refused to leave the room?
Yes.
And did Mr. Abdullah eventually provide an explanation at that time as to why he was refusing to leave the room?
Not at that time. He still argued that we weren't doing it right.
He argued that you weren't doing it right. Did you ask him what you were doing wrong?
Yes.
And did he, in the first instance, provide to you the explanation of what he thought you were doing wrong?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's hard to see this is trying to put myself in the eye. Not good. Okay.
Did Mr. Abdullah eventually, at Chief Briggs' urging, specifically state what he believed you were doing wrong?
Yes.
And what was that explanation?
We didn't do a roll call vote going to non-public.
Okay. And just to be clear, the only item on your agenda at that point was a non-public session, correct?
Yes.
And all three members of the select board were in the room, correct?
Yes.
And all three members raised their hand and said aye when you called for the motion to go into non-public session, correct?
Yes.
Okay. From the time that Ms. Hope, from the time that that vote to go into non-public session occurred, to the time that Mr. Abdullah disclosed that his concern was that you had not done a roll call vote, how long did that take?
15 minutes.
Okay. So that was 15 minutes on a workday morning when you were trying to have a non-public, and Mr. Abdullah delayed, in your estimation, 15 minutes refusing to leave because he believed you had not done a roll call vote, but did not tell you that you hadn't done a roll call vote. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that occurrence representative of other experiences that you and the select board have had with Mr. Abdullah? So, and occurrences like that, have occurred prior to the June 18th meeting, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when Mr. Abuhab speaks up at the June 18th meeting and says, I can't hear, or it's difficult for me to hear, do you, the first time he says that, do you believe him?
No.
And why would you not believe him?
I took it as just a formal way to disrupt the meeting.
So notwithstanding your suspicion that part of the intent of claiming difficulty to hear was to disrupt the meeting, nevertheless took all the steps that we discussed earlier in your testimony in terms of apologizing on at the July 2nd meeting, moving the venue back to the town hall and asking Mr. Darrow to report on all of the occurrences of the June 18th meeting.
Yes.
And as you testified to the extent that Mr. Abuhab or anyone else in attendance had difficulty hearing on June 18th, was it your intent to that you would not be overheard by the audience?
Can you repeat that, please?
Sorry. During the June 18th meeting, you had no intent that the audience would not be able to overhear you, correct?
No.
And you understood that the audience could hear Mr. Darrow clearly when he was speaking?
No.
And again, you attempted to raise your voice as you were attempting to accelerate the meeting to its end, correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Ogai. I have no further questions. Mr. Ogai, it's time you're up.
Okay, thank you. Be all right.
You said that that my conduct on the June 21st is one of many, or larger, or whatever. Can you specify any other instance that such a thing ever happened?
There are other meetings that you have spoken up that you couldn't hear.
Have other members of the public of times said that during the meeting that they can't hear?
Yes.
Do you believe they're doing so to agitate you?
No.
Okay. You said that when, at the first time at opening of the meeting, that I would said we can't hear. You said you were under the belief that that was to make chaos at the meeting or disrupt the meeting in any way.
Yes.
Why would you say earlier that you raised your voice after I said we couldn't hear? If it was just a tactic to disrupt the meeting, why would you raise your voice?
To appease you.
Oh. What other things do you do to appease me?
While making it, everyone feel, making public meetings, it will hurt, you know.
And that's done to appease me. That has nothing to do with that the law says you need to.
No.
Which one is it?
The law says that. It also appeases you.
I don't understand. What the law says you need to appease me.
No. you make everyone, hear the meetings. But it also, making everyone hear the meetings easy to do.
Okay. Can you point to any other meeting where I shouted, made any obstructions, made any noise, cursed at the members of the board?
Not the board, but you brought up other subjects.
That wasn't the question. Is there any instance that you can point to that I shouted to disrupt the meeting that you remember? Take that as a no.
There is, but.
There is? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Your comments about our town clerk at times,
Can you specify?
2 meetings ago,
Well,
where you,
hold on. We're talking about prior to June 18th. Well, that's what you said.
yeah,
I think something happened prior.
but you
to
said
that.
any other.
Correct. And now I'm focusing the question. You said earlier that this behavior came before June 18th. What conduct before then that I have done to make you believe that I was trying to disrupt the meeting?
Can't recall any right now.
Okay. Do you know how much state reps are paid?
I would be, no, I don't actually.
$200? Is that right?
I don't know. You're doing that.
Do you think state representatives do more or less work than U.S. senators?
I don't know what they did.
Okay. Now, you said that the members of the public were sitting about 5 to 10 feet away from the board. Is that correct? And who sets up the seats for people to sit at?
Usually, select board does.
Do you have any difficulty hearing me now?
No.
Okay. Is this a less further than distance than that meeting?
This is further.
This is further. Now, you said it was very hot that day, mid-90s. Did that affect your decision-making that day during the meeting?
No.
Do you remember any of the decisions that were made at that meeting?
One was to rent a grader.
Okay. What was the purchase amount for that grader?
The rental price?
The rental and subsequent purchase.
I believe we talked about the rental at that meeting, not the purchase.
Okay. Or is it rent with the option to buy, is that correct?
Yeah.
At the time it was rented.
Maybe like 120,000.
Alright, and you had no difficulty making decisions on that, did you?
No.
So your agitation did not affect any of your duties during the meeting?
No.
So it was solely agitated at the fact of the public not there. And what is it?
It was hot, and it was constant, can't hear, can't hear, can't hear.
How many times?
There's 2 times that we saw here before I changed my tone of my voice. Then 4 or 5 times.
How long was the meeting?
I don't know, 53 minutes.
Okay, about an hour. So when you say come here, come here, come here, that's 4 times spread out over that entire hour.
it's 12:11, the court will take a recess, and we will reconvene at 1:15. Okay, we will break for lunch right now. It's currently 12:12, and we will reconvene at 1:15. Okay.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Sure thing.
Before we go to the lunch recess, I neglected this morning to raise at the outset. I know that the town's police chief was subpoenaed to be here. This was I think a subpoena that was served just 2 days ago, so there was not time to file a motion to quash. And so I'm wondering about the relevance of his testimony, if he needs to be here, if he can be released back to his police duties.
Okay, understood. Mr. Allen?
Over a month prior, I told the chief that I was going to subpoena him. Yes, it was served later than that. I am not opposed if we want to go over his witness testimony at the moment and go to recess after that in the interest of the go back to work.
So you'll call him at 1:15?
No, I could call him right now and he could leave if we want to wait.
Okay, how long do you anticipate the questions to be?
It's short, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
I wasn't suggesting to interrupt the lunch break. I was only inquiring as to the relevance, because it sounds like we've had a pretty full explanation of the case, and the police chief Briggs hasn't come up, so it would be helpful to hear what the
Okay.
proposed relevance of the testimony would be.
Fine. Okay. Okay.
I'll try to do it short.
Okay, the court, we're ready to go. We're ready to go in light of these circumstances. I was not aware that the chief was under subpoena, and in light of Mr. Allenhoff's representation, he's prepared to go with testimony now that it's relatively brief. Sometimes the court takes the lunch break at noon, sometimes it takes it at 12:30, sometimes it takes it down to 12:45. So I thought this was an appropriate time, but based upon all the circumstances, I think it's appropriate to have Chief Briggs testify.
Again, I apologize, Your Honor, that
Nope.
I forgot to raise this first thing in the morning.
Quite all right. So, and anything else, after the chief's testimony, then we'll take lunch break? Okay? Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, can I raise your right hand? You swear the testimony you're about to give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth on the pain and penalties of perjury? Okay, thank you. If I can have you state your name and spell it for the record, please, sir.
It's Mitchell Briggs, first name Mitchell, Mitchell, last is Briggs, Briggs.
And you are the police chief in town of Grafton?
Yes, that is correct.
You were